Thousands of people have lost weight only eating one meal a day. But is this OMAD diet right for you? In this video, I want to go over all the pros and cons of only eating one meal a day. And then I want to map out like 3 different strategies that you can follow if you decide you want to try the OMAD diet. Now, if you're new to my channel, my name is 𝙒𝘼𝙏𝙏. I've been a fitness trainer and gym owner for over 30 years. I've helped thousands of people lose weight and just get into amazing shape. Now, there are definitely a lot of pros and cons to only eating one meal a day. Some of the benefits is that you're automatically going to be in a calorie deficit. Just think about it. If you're used to eating 3, 4, 5 times a day, and then you only are going to give yourself, say, a 1-hour eating window to take in all your calories, like 99% of the people are going to be in a calorie deficit only eating one meal a day. So that's one big advantage. Another advantage is that you're going to be in a fasted state. And there's so many health and weight loss benefits of being in a fasted state. And one of the biggest ones is the storage hormone insulin is going to be kept very low when you're not eating, when you're in a fasted state. And whenever insulin is low, you're going to be dipping into stored energy, stored body fat, stored carbohydrates, and you're going to be burning them up. And there's also other hormonal benefits of being in a fasted state. So only eating one meal a day can improve your health and can definitely help you lose weight. But there definitely are some cons, like some negatives and some mistakes that people make. And I think one of the biggest ones is they do the one meal a day diet for too long of a period of time. And let me explain. Let's talk about strategy 1. Let's say you want to lose 10, 20 pounds pretty quickly, and you decide you're going to start only eating like one meal a day. And you're going to do this OMAD diet like the kind of traditional way. You're going to fast for 23 hours, and then you're going to take in all your calories within a 1-hour eating window. Okay, now that's going to definitely put you into a calorie deficit. Well, let's say you're used to eating, say, 3,500 calories a day over like 3 or 4 meals. Now you're eating one meal. Even if you're eating a lot of food, you're probably not going to be eating more than, say, 1,500 calories. And that's a pretty big meal. So let's say you're in a calorie deficit of 1,000 to 1,500, which is a big deficit. See, initially, you're going to do great. If you do this OMAD diet like that, the first 2-3 weeks, maybe even 4 weeks, you're going to be losing a lot of weight. But then all of a sudden, what happens to a lot of people is that they reach a weight loss plateau. And let me explain to you why that happens. See, when you're losing weight and you're restricting calories so much, your metabolism is going to slow down. It's always going to slow down to some degree whenever you're losing weight. But if you're extremely restricting calories, like only eating one meal a day, it can over-exaggerate the slowdown in your metabolism. And yet it's not like you're cycling in calories. It's not like you're eating more one day, less the other day. You've been in a consistent calorie deficit for weeks. So that can slow down your metabolism too much. That's why I think if you're going to do a 23-hour fast and a 1-hour eating window, which is strategy 1 every day, I wouldn't do that for more than, say, 1, 2, maybe 3 weeks. And then what I would do, once you've lost 10 pounds or so, I would up your calories, take a diet break, take a week off, up your calories. That's going to boost up your metabolism. Do that for a week or so, and then you can go back to the one meal a day diet. That's a way of keeping the weight loss going somewhat indefinitely. Now, another strategy that people like to do that I think is pretty effective is to, instead of just giving yourself a 1-hour eating window, you can give yourself, say, a 2 or 3-hour eating window. Like, for example, you can fast for 21, 22 hours. Even though it's the OMAD diet, you can still have like somewhat of a feasting meal, or just have like one small meal and then one larger meal within, say, a 2 or 3-hour eating window. I think that's a better strategy long term, because you're going to be eating more calories. You're not going to be in as much of a calorie deficit than if you're only eating one meal a day. Plus, when you're only eating one meal a day within a 1-hour eating window, in my opinion, it's really hard to take in enough vitamins and minerals and nutrients, like long term. Like for example, the adequate intake of potassium is like 4,000 milligrams a day. An example is a banana is only 400. So if you're only eating one meal a day in 1 hour, you're going to be low in potassium. You're probably going to be low in magnesium. Plus, in my opinion, the most important macronutrient is protein. Like my recommendation for protein is somewhere around 0.9 grams per pound of lean body weight. So for example, if you're 150 pound like guy or gal, say 20% body fat, you want to take in 150, 120 grams of protein every day. A general rule is every 4 ounces of chicken, fish, or meat is about 25 grams of protein. So if you're only eating one meal a day in that first strategy, you got to eat like 1.5 pounds of chicken, fish, or meat, or you got to eat like an insane amount of vegetables to get enough protein. It's really hard to get enough protein only eating one meal a day within 1 hour. But if you're doing the second strategy, where you're giving yourself, say, a 2 or 3 hour eating window, you can have one small meal first, have 4-6 ounces of a piece of protein, some vegetables, maybe a sweet potato, get your potassium, get a little protein there, then have one big meal. And you can do that for a greater period of time. But even then, I still don't think you should do that beyond 5-6 weeks without taking a diet break. Similar to the first strategy, upping your calories for a week or two, boosting your metabolism, then you can go back into, the 2 or 3 hour eating window. But what I think is the best strategy, if you want to follow the OMAD diet, is to do it intermittently. And this is what I mean. Don't do it every day. Do it like 2-3 times a week. I think that's ideal. So for example, say you're doing the OMAD diet on a Monday, you're giving yourself a 1 hour eating window, that's going to be your calorie restricted day. That's going to be the day when insulin levels are extremely low and you're increasing your insulin sensitivity, you're burning fat, you're burning carbohydrates. You might be a little low on protein, you might be a little low on magnesium, potassium for just one day, but then the next day, say Tuesday, you're eating normally. You're upping your calories, you're cycling your calories, you're boosting your metabolism, you're upping your protein, your vitamins, minerals, and nutrients. I think that's an incredible strategy. If you did the OMAD diet, say 2 or 3 times a week, you can consistently lose weight somewhat indefinitely and maintain good health, good nutrition until you reach your goal weight, and then you can just kick back on how many days you're doing the OMAD. Some people just like to stay at the OMAD 2-3 times a week indefinitely. But I say, let's say you're doing that for 3-4 months, you reach your goal weight, maybe reduce 1 day of the OMAD. So now you're doing OMAD twice a week. See if you lose or gain weight. If you're at maintenance, maybe you want to do that indefinitely. If you gain weight, maybe you want to go back to doing it 3 times per week. Experiment, but don't make the mistake of only eating one meal a day for weeks on end without taking a break. You need to take a diet break. You have to cycle calories. You have to get enough vitamins and minerals and nutrients within your diet. But I do think the OMAD diet is a great way for short-term weight loss or long-term weight loss if you do it right. And I do recommend you take a multivitamin whenever you're doing the OMAD diet. I think it's a good idea. Now, if you want to learn more about intermittent fasting in general, I have so many videos on my channel about it. Check out this playlist of videos. The OMAD diet is not the only intermittent fasting approach. There are numerous others you might want to look into.